Hi, in this video we are going to take a brief look at classes in Python. Class creates a user-defined data structure which holds its own data members and member functions, which can be accessed and used by creating an instance of that class. We can say that class is like a blueprint for an object. So we want to create a class that can be done using a keyword class. Here in Python, all attributes are always public and can be accessed using a dot operator. We have a class named myClass and its attribute, that is my attribute. If I want to access this my attribute, so it's simple in Python using a dot operator. I will write myClass.myAttribute and I can access the attribute of the class. If you come from Java background, you are probably kind of screaming saying there's no data encapsulation going on, but it actually doesn't matter in Python. Now let's see the syntax to create a class. It's easy. Use a class keyword and give a name to a class. Naming convention we have seen in previous video. Class keyword and name of the class, and at last using a colon start the body of the class. So what we write below here with the indentation is a part of a class. Now we create a rectangle class. So now we want an initializer. So in Python the initializer is called or implemented using this dunder init method. This dunder init method is actually that runs once the object has been created. So there's actually two steps in which we can create an instance of our rectangle class. The first step is a new step in which a new keyword is used to create an instance of class. If you come from a Java, you know about a new keyword which makes a new object of a class, and second step is the initialization. So the dunder init method initialize the object of the class. So in Python, the first argument for any instance method is the object itself. So we can write anything at the place of self. Let's say a new object just created. So this can be our first argument, but it's customary. We should use self because everybody knows what that means. Reason again behind this is the code should be readable by others. So here self means the instance that was just created, and then in addition to this, in init method we are going to require the width and the height. So now here we have set properties attributes of the class. So we have here self.width equal to width and self.height equal to height. So here the object that was just created called self is passed as a first argument, and the width of the object is equal to the value of the width passed while creating the object, and it is same for height. Now let's create the instance of the class rectangle R1 with width 10 and height 20 and R2 with width 3 and height 5. So what happens here is that R1 is passed as the object in the init method, and width of the R1 is assigned the value equal to width which we passed by creating the object, and in same manner the height is also assigned a value. So we can access the class attribute using the object. Let's say R1.width we get 10, R2.height we get 5. So attributes that are callables are called method. We will now add callable attribute to our class. Here we create area and perimeter as callable. So in area we pass an object and we multiply width and height of the object passed. We return the value which is area of the rectangle, and in perimeter we do same. We pass the object. Here we can write anything as we know. In this, we will compute parameter and return value. So now we execute r1.area. In this line of code, our object is r1, and when we call area with object r1 in Python, it automatically passes r1 to self parameter of the area method in class rectangle, and we get the area as 200. Here it takes height and width of r1 and return the area. And this happens same for the parameter, and it returns value 60. Here we have written the reference object instead of self. It is not good practice, it is just to show that we can write anything, but we should write self. Now we have an inbuilt function str, which converts integer to string representation, not taking str10. So here 10 is converted to string. Let's see what happens when we use str with rectangle object. Let's use str with rectangle object. Let's see it. Right, r1. Let's run the code above first. Shift r1. Let's run this code. Now we run this code. So here we don't get the expected output. Here we create a method in the class named toStr. toStr take a self object as a parameter, and it returns the string with width and height. So when we call toStr method using object r1, we get the rectangle object in string form. So let's use r1.toStr. So we get here rectangle width equal to 10 and height equal to 20. But still we cannot use str function. So we can do that using the special method called under str. So when we call str_r1, Python will first search class rectangle and then it look for the special method called under str. So we define str here in class rectangle, and here we will put return the required output string. If we run now, we get the proper output. Now we can also have a string representation of the object, and it done by the dunder repr method. So we also need to define repr method, and it return the required string value. Now let's see here that print and str built-in uses dunder str method, and so here when we use a print, it uses str, and in Jupyter Interactive Notebook, if we write object r1, it uses dunder repr method. So we will see the comparison operators with objects of the class in next video. If you like the video, please press the like button, share and subscribe the channel. See you in next video.